Good evening and welcome to this month's video. And this month I've come to shoot sunset in the east, which is a bit weird I suppose, but I'm actually come to the northwest of Norfolk, of East Anglia. As you can tell, I'm sort of sitting in my van at the moment waiting for the sun, waiting for the sun to go down, because this is literally straight after work shot. And I'd like to sort of talk about why I've come up this way, because I come up this way quite a bit. I actually live in southeast of Norfolk, and I'll try and come up here as much as I can. I mean, it's a good hour to, well, let's get that right, it's about an hour and 45 to 2 hour drive up here. But it's one of these places you can see in Norfolk where you can actually watch the sun drop into the ocean, which is amazing. And not just that, this place really inspires me to shoot, and even to the point it's inspired my logo a bit, which I show at the end of my video. So once the sun gets a bit down, we'll get the bag ready. I think I might have a bit of food now before I go, and then I'll show you what really inspires me about this location. So now the light's getting better, it's time to head out. So I'm actually going to show you what inspires me the most at this location. And as you can see now, it's these cliffs behind me, these red and white sandstone coloured cliffs. Absolutely amazing colour, and quite honestly they change quite a bit over the years because the limestone sort of erodes away, that's the word I'm looking for. Roads away, and you get these sort of massive landslides. If I switch around the camera, switch around it, as you can see across here, and over there is just big old landslides keep happening with this limestone. So it constantly change, and then you get the debris being washed out to the sea. So this is sort of my main subject of today, is this cliff face. And hopefully get a sunset really match the colours. So if you don't get a shot of these sea cliffs, there's also a shipwreck further up on this coastline, but there's also other subjects that you can't deny here, which can be quite unique. And there's one right in front of me here, so if I switch you around, there's sort of small caves just opening up in the cliff edge. I'll just be careful if you go into these, just in case there's another landslide. So you can I don't know if you can really tell on this little camera. Maybe if I zoom in, they're quite damp, and it's that moisture that erodes away the sea cliffs. So we're just going to keep walking further down, and then hopefully I'll find my first subject. So, as you can see, I found my first image. And this one's quite a bit of a simple one. I'm going to keep looking up just in case I hear a crack or something above my head, because I'm right up against this cliff edge. What I found is these sort of flowers with oranges and yellows. It's sort of a bluish green leaves, and it looks really good against this sort of brown back of this mud, clay, sort of cliff face. So what I've actually done is zoomed in at 70mm on the lens, handheld, 500 off a second, at f6.3 at ISO 320, focus straight on the flowers, and just take the photo. And that's the first one. So as you can see, we're now at the shipwreck, and I'll show some footage of it, and I might even show a photo I took of it last time. But what I really want to talk about is not the shipwreck itself, which is here. It's these boulders you can use for amazing foreground and photos. I don't really see anything at this moment in time because I wish the tide was a bit higher, but when I come out after work I just get what I'm given, and then I'll try and work the best I can. I don't, as I've said in past videos, I try and not allow sort of things get me down and stop me from taking photographs. I know I've only taken one so far today, but it's definitely chance of a second one. I keep looking around because I'm hoping the nesting birds will start flying up again soon, and I can get some interesting shots of them in the sky, and I'll show you how I sort of do photos like that. For now I might just concentrate on these boulders and maybe find intricate details, because I know if I go out in the wash further, which over here, over the surf, out here, there might be some interesting in the lines of the sands you can get. But yeah, so let's see what we can find then. Before I say anything, I'm sorry about the audio. I didn't realise my mic wasn't switched on. At the moment I'm using a new camera for the first time today, which is the Osmo Pocket 4, and I haven't really set it up yet because I only got it yesterday and I was just really excited to bring it with me. But further ado, I think I found my second shot, and this is through these boulders I was talking about, through the coastline, and it's these two rocks really which took my interest with. Sort of, there's sea snails all around them, there's beautiful lines in the sand, and I've even opted for a polarizer on this shot as well, just to help cut the glare off the water so you can really see those defined lines. And I've even got a couple of rocks further in the background. I'm gonna probably have to photo stack this. So for base settings, I've got 1/8 of a second, f11, ISO 100, and I'm probably going to do 3 stacks for this. So I'll be using the touchscreen on the camera, be the first boulder in the, or rock in the foreground, should we say, then the one to the background, take that shot, and then the one in the foreground, or the back, the right background. So I'll just explain better. So I took a photo on the foreground rock, the midground rock, and the background rock. I promise you, one of these days I will get what I'm trying to say right. But it's all a lesson. I know I'm still sort of new to this filmmaking. I'm really enjoying it. I just wish I had a bit more time to do it than more than once a month. And hopefully, sorry, I was just looking around to make sure my gear hasn't gone wonky. And I would like to do it more than once a month so I get better at it and make better content for you guys. So yeah, after that, this is the second shot I took. If it's any good or bad, here it is. We're now coming into the golden hour, and unfortunately it's not improving the conditions, and as much as I find this place expiring and with these red cliffs and that, it does need that warm glow to really make the red and the white and the yellow from the limestone to really pop. And I don't think we're going to get it today. There's a bit of a haze in the air, and there's sort of quite a few high clouds now coming in from the west, which are sort of blocking out the sun. But that gives me another reason why I keep coming here. I mean, I've been coming here for the past 4 or 5 years, should I say. And I never really got that shot I'm really proud of. But I've got many photos which I like, and I'll show 2 of them now. These are sort of close to perfect, but just not there in my mind. And it's that sort of reason why I keep coming here, and it keeps driving me to come out with my camera. I guess it's just to sort of make the shot I'm really proud of. So as you can see behind me, this is sort of the sun I'm dealing with. Hang on, get the camera sort itself up, there it is. So it's quite hazy, there's not really much really sort of gonna get that colour, I don't think. But because I don't shoot that much, I'm now actually gonna start looking at other subjects I can find, and there's a lot of seabirds sort of nesting in these cliffs. So it might be a chance to maybe get a couple of wildlife shots, which I don't really do that often. So there's always a chance to practice different techniques, you know. Just because you come out to photograph landscape doesn't mean you have to stick to landscape. Sometimes you have to change your perspective of what you're shooting to match the conditions you've got. And I mean, it's quite nice, but it's not really giving me the inspiration to shoot the landscape today. So I'm going to walk along this cliff, see if I can find any birds that are doing interesting, playful things. So, unfortunately, the light's coming to an end, even to sort of photograph wildlife. But I have stumbled across sort of a wide-angle shot I quite like. Granted, this is going to be better when I get that amazing sky I really want, and I might just show you I'm going to sort of show you the preference with the camera I have in my hand of what I mean. If we spin you around, so as you can see, it's sort of these sort of rocks below here, how they have these lines which then sort of lead you right out to the sunset over there. And as you can see with the sun, it's now going behind the clouds, and eventually there's just going to be sort of a bluish tone, and it doesn't really work in this location in my opinion. So on that note, I'm going to show you this image and sort of say goodbye until next month. Goodbye for now.